Hey, welcome back to another episode of Cheetah.
And the cheese.
Today, we do not have a special guest for you guys, but we do want to kind of switch it up a little bit. Told you on the last episode that I kind of want to rotate between scenes and things like that, so it's going to be interesting for you viewers as you guys are watching. Hopefully, you know how to kind of navigate through all that stuff too, which means click that like button, click that subscribe. Don't miss another episode of Cheetah and Cheese. We over here holding it down. Week 14 in the playoff standings. Cheese and me, we're one game apart from each other. Cheese, you got me by a game, dude. How's that make you feel?
It makes me feel pretty good. But we'll see after this week, man. See if I can get Christmas to come earlier. If I just some crazy stuff happens this week.
For sure.
It's been fun.
So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about what happened on Thursday night when the Patriots went to LA and then got that ass whooped. Cam Newton got benched. Jared Stidham came in. Bill Belichick still saying Cam's the man in New England. I just think they're gonna ride him out to the end of the season. LA looked pretty good on defensively, and then Cam Akers had one heck of a day for that rookie. Rushed for over 150 yards versus a pretty decent New England defense. Go ahead and tell us what you thought about that game, Cheese.
I was so wishy-washy on I should have went with the Rams. I was telling Juan when I was actually watching the game and it first started, like in the first quarter, I'm like, damn, I messed up. I should have went with my gut feeling. I tried to ride out with Belichick, man, and that defense is definitely going. I thought it was going to give Cam Newton a problem. It gave Cam Newton a problem. He's never really good trying to play flustered, especially now in his career. And the Rams did enough. Akers, man. Like, that running game was established, and it was a dagger to that defense, and it opened up a lot of other things for the Rams. They have to run the ball to be extremely successful in their offense, the way they scheme it out. So, Patriots took one on the chin, man, and we're seeing exactly how good they are when they play, good quality teams. So.
Yeah. I was over there commenting back on the chat with Craig from our last stream, and he was saying that run defense, is really good in LA. And man, he's definitely right. They shut down what is arguably one of the better running games with Cam Newton and those Patriots running backs. It's almost
Aaron
like
Donald, man. It's just he no matter where, and they put him in so many different places, and it don't matter where they put him. Like, he's gonna cause problems, even if you go away from him. Like, he'll just he's still gonna cause havoc on the line of scrimmage, man.
It seemed like there were a few plays where that whole line was just like "Ole," and then Cam's on his back.
Tired of hitting him, man. You're like, damn.
Yeah, so that was pretty bad. So that game ended up me going to give the casinos $20 just because, hey, thanks for letting me put some stupid money on a stupid team. Hate the Patriots, and I went with them. I don't know why. Anyways, recapping that, okay, LA is sitting at the top of the NFC West over there with the Seattle Seahawks. That one's going to be a really interesting division to see how that one shapes up. Who's going to get the home field advantage? Who's going to get that 2 seed? NFC is kind of pretty even. They don't have the runners up like Pittsburgh and the Bills and things like that, Kansas City, that are just one-loss teams. The NFC is pretty even, so it's going to be interesting to see how that shapes out. Going into our first matchup, what we are going is the Chiefs versus the Dolphins. All right, we got the Chiefs traveling to Miami. Chiefs, are you still on that Miami Dolphin bandwagon right here in this one?
Not on this one, man. Now the Dolphins can lose this one and win out and probably get away and still feel pretty good about themselves, and the Chiefs can't allow this to happen. This can't be like a few years ago when the Patriots hardly had any losses, Miami hardly had any wins, and Miami winds up winning off of something crazy at the end. So it can't be like that. The defense for Kansas City has to give I think a higher than average. I wouldn't even say mediocre, higher than average offense for the Dolphins, and then that defense is extremely good. That's why it's going to be fun to watch, man, because they take the ball away, but Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid don't give the ball up. And I think they have just a little bit – they have more weapons the Kansas City Chiefs do offensively than I think the Dolphins do defensively, and see that, if they can slow them down. I think they're a problem for them, and it's a matchup problem as well. So I'm definitely going Kansas City with this one. But It's going to be fun one to watch, especially at first, unless it gets one-sided. But
just some things to note. They are in Miami, and Miami plays pretty well at home, especially defensively. They are a lot of weapons on the Kansas City side. How are they going to shut them down? I think the corners match up pretty well. They're going to take chances. Hopefully they get some pressure on Mahomes, make it a good quality game. One stat I want to throw out there. What's going on, Craig? Yeah, I know. I don't know if they'll do man versus Tyreek Hill, but they'll definitely run some kind of like zone man, and maybe on the backside have something else.
Man, not just Hill either, man. Kelsey, come on, man.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna find openings at some point, and I wouldn't run man to man with it, not with those cats.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to switch it up for sure, but I think they're doing a pretty good job. Obviously, they've played maybe kind of a weaker schedule if you go back and look at it, but at the end of the day, they are a playoff contender. I love what they're doing. Tua hasn't thrown any interceptions ever since he's been here. I just want you to know that. He's fumbled, but he hasn't thrown any interceptions. And then Myles Gaskin also comes back to be that lead bell cow. If you look at the stats, Myles Gaskin was that guy that they wanted the ball in his hands. So I'm interested to see that versus the Kansas City defense. What I've heard is hurt. They don't have all their stars out there, so it's going to be interesting to see what Tua can do with some of these second-stringer guys. And obviously, it's the NFL, but it's going to be a good matchup. I think that's a playoff matchup waiting to happen again. So that was going to be exciting.
This one's going to be exciting, yeah, dude.
Okay, moving on to the next game. Going back for you guys. We got the Vikings versus the Buccaneers. All right, so Tom Brady coming off a bye week. Minnesota, they finally caught kind of fire with a good run game. And then Justin Jefferson, arguably one of the best rookies in the NFL this year at the wideout position. Does Tampa Bay have enough in the tank to stop an offense that's finally catching their stride, or are they just going to dominate a Minnesota team that's been struggling at the beginning of the year?
All right, so for me, Minnesota's been struggling. They're very wishy-washy depending on when they play, every time they play. Tampa Bay coming off of a bye week, I do like that. They are rested. I know they've probably been in the film room like crazy. Tom Brady has to have a good game coming out here. And the defense for Tampa Bay, the secondary has always flustered me, and I've always had a big question mark on them. But, with that linebacker play that they have and the defensive line that they have, I think they hold a good chance and have a good opportunity to stop the Vikings run. I know that's a hard thing to do, and we've seen the Vikings running game open up multiple defenses this year. But I think they have enough. Tom Brady figures out a way. They try to fluster Kirk Cousins, get him out of his rhythm, and which I think would be a little bit easier to do more so than Brady. And the Buccaneers have to win this game. And the way that people have been talking before, and we've seen them get destroyed some of these games, like it's time to nut up or shut up, man. You got to win these games. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay on this one. But that's kind of it's really a coin flip on this one too, because it could go so much one-sided, I think, on emotional drive of the game. Once one of these quarterbacks gets shut down and flustered, then the other team can, excel. But I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get it done.
Yeah, I'm interested to see kind of how Gronk gets involved with the offense. The past couple of weeks when they were playing, Gronk had some big plays, and we've already seen that multiple seasons before this. So let's see if they actually find him a role over there in the passing game instead of just being a run blocker. They still have all those dynamic weapons to throw to. I don't think Minnesota's defensive secondary is going to be able to withstand all these guys coming at you, especially with Brady over there at the helm. And then I also think that running game between Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones, I love Ronald Jones a little bit more than Fournette, and I hope he gets a lot more of the bulk. But I think Leonard Fournette's going to steal his red zone carries. For some reason, they keep putting him in the red zone. He is a downhill runner. But I love that Ronald Jones kid.
I said that early in the season, dude. I said, with all these people signing, they had so many backs. I was like, Jones still has to be your all-star back in Tampa because that's what he can be. And he stepped up. He's filled those shoes, man. Jones has played some really good ball, man.
Yeah, and their defense has struggled at times, but also they're pretty good run stuff in defense. They play man, they get caught, and then they rely on Brady to come back. Hard. Yeah. So
and I love their linebacker play more so. About their linebacker play is probably one of my favorites, if not top three, in the league, just
Yeah.
just linebacker wise. So,
And the reason this is a key matchup is because whoever wins this game pretty much solidifies maybe that one wild card spot. If Minnesota wins, that means their records are tied, and then Minnesota would hold that over the Buccaneers. So that's going to be interesting to see, again, how that NFC shapes up because you got Arizona, you got Seattle, you got Minnesota, all these 6-win teams that are on the outside looking in, and all it takes is two weeks to get right back in the mix of things. So pretty excited to see how this playoff is shaping out. Next game that we are going to talk about, okay, we got the Steelers versus the Bills. This is Sunday night. We are going to talk about this a little bit before all these other ones. Do the Steelers have enough in them to beat a decent football team in Buffalo? And it's in Buffalo. All right? I'm already going to tell you, I haven't even told you my picks on these last two games. We'll go over them at the end. But this one for sure, I am going Buffalo. I'm going to, bro. I think that Josh Allen and that offense are going to run. You know, and Pittsburgh's been playing very, very average on the offensive side of the ball. Do they show up to compete? They're always playing down to the talent or the teams that are maybe considered not as good. But Buffalo's good. And I'm riding strong on that Josh Allen train, boy.
oh my goodness, this one's insane. All right. And I don't want to just say it just to go with you, but I'm leaning toward the Bills too. I mean, you're coming off of a Washington football team loss. All right. You're not coming off of what I think was an outstanding physical, they're beat up type game. The Buffalo Bills are playing hot, and when they're hot, they're very, very scary. And these two teams battle it out, man. Two physical teams. I like both defenses. They're in Buffalo. Is it time? Is it time for the Steelers to start fading just a little bit before they hit this playoff run? Is Big Ben, how much more does he have in the tank? I know Josh Allen, he's ready to go and get it. I'm going Bills with you, man. I'm going to lock it in. I'm going Buffalo. This is going to be an outstanding game. This might be one of the best games we've seen in a while. So, I don't know, man. Coming off that, you know, if they would have beat Washington, I probably would have still went Buffalo because I would have figured they would have had to get that loss out of the way. Another thing that scares me, though, is they've gotten the loss out of the way. So does that make them play better? They find their mistakes and start connecting on all cylinders. It could happen, but yeah, I'm going Buffalo, man. I'm going Bills on this one at Buffalo. Yeah.
This one also has some seeding implications too, because Buffalo's right on the tail of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh loses these next couple games, and Buffalo could get that number 2 seed. And then if Kansas City also loses, you know, Buffalo could possibly end up getting that 2 seed. God, there's some good matchups this week, dude. It's getting toward the end of the season, so all of this stuff, they're going to be playing hard-nosed football. You know, that playoff contender.
Cold game.
Woo! I love it.
I know it's cold in both places, but I mean, I don't know, Buffalo, man, it being a cold game in Buffalo, they got a little mojo up there when that happens. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm with you. Okay, the next game we're going to talk about, we got the Colts going to the Raiders. The Raiders ended up almost losing to the Jets, and then they get spanked by the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not sure if I hear you, Charlie. He said the Bills are going down. I love it. I just think Buffalo's a way better team. But
definitely can happen, dude.
It definitely could.
Sure.
I'm definitely going to take the over in that game. I don't know what it is, but I think it'll be a freaking slugfest, but people going deep all the time. Big Ben connected with Chase Claypool and all them guys.
It could be an old school, like how the matchups when Steelers and Patriots used to meet, and they would have those freaking brawls for 4 quarters. This could be one of those for sure.
Yeah, but going back to that Colts versus Raiders, like we were saying, the Raiders ended up possibly not being a playoff team in my eyes. I don't think that they've done enough to this point or have enough talent to match up with all these AFC guys. So it's going to be interesting to see this matchup. The Colts came off a big loss to Tennessee, then bounced back this past week. Do they still have enough in the tank? Does Philip Rivers get it done? Is he going to make the playoffs and then lose in the first round, just usually like he always does? I don't know, but I'm going to have to ride the Josh Jacobs train. If he plays, then I think the Raiders have a legit shot to take off those Colts and then possibly still be in the running for the playoffs as well. If the Colts lose this game, then they're Tennessee. They're going to be looking at that seeded too because Tennessee owns the tie, I'm pretty sure. What you think about the Colts going to Las Vegas? Chief?
My thing is, more so than Jacobs, is Renfro. Can he have a thriving game against the Colts to help open up the way that offense is sitting right now, to open up that offense for them? Now, I think the Colts I really think they're a really good team. I think they can shoot themselves in the foot sometimes, but like we've seen this year, they haven't shot themselves in the foot as much time as the Raiders have. The Raiders are coming off of 2 bad games, even though they had beaten, the Jets. They should have lost that game. I mean, they really should have lost that game. They shouldn't even have won that one. So I'm going to ride the Colts on this one. I like their offensive line. Just protect Phillip Rivers, even though he drives me crazy sometimes. Protect him, get a running game going a little bit, and just try to open up some things offensively. And defensively, I think they give the Raiders a hard time and kind of piss Carr off a little bit and not make him too comfortable. Colts are a good team. They have to win this game. I mean, the Raiders have to win this one as well. But, I mean, they have been struggling here lately, and I don't think they just hit it and take off against a Colts team that we've seen could be really good. So I'm going to go Colts on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the hometown right here in Las Vegas. I'm taking Derek Carr. I'm scared. I'm not going to lie about it. But the Raiders do have potential to score a lot of points. And Indianapolis Colts are not designed to come back, in my opinion. They do have a talent. T.Y. Hilton came out of nowhere the past couple of weeks. The resurgence of him. Michael Pittman's a great rookie receiver that Indianapolis found out of USC that I've been high on all year. It's going to be – I think you start both those guys, especially versus a beat-up secondary with no Jonathan Abrams. At home, I just know John Gruden is going to get these boys together, and it's going to be a game. It's going to be a game. I hope it's not a blowout.
Yeah, dude.
But
another great matchup, I think.
Yeah, the playoff implications are high. They're at stake. Everybody's playing to not lose, so a lot of good football going on. We're going different on that one, though, Cheese. I'm going Raiders.
Yes,
Next
sir.
game we're going to talk about, we got the Cardinals versus the Giants. The G-Man over there in the NFC East, not doing too much, but doing enough to stay on top of that division over there on the Washington football team as well. Cardinals are struggling a little bit. Kyler Murray not looking like legit. Actually, it's not even Kyler Murray. I think it's the running game with Kenyon Drake not doing too much. Chase Edmonds, being that change of pace back, catch the ball in the backfield. They haven't really put it all together on offense to their full potential, in my opinion. And DeAndre Hopkins has kind of been quiet. He's still getting his receptions, but it's not the DeAndre Hopkins getting 8 to 10 receptions, 100 and something yards, and 2 touchdowns. So I'm wondering what's going on with that connection, and is it because they're not established a run game? I think that could heavily be a part of it.
Yeah.
What you thinking, Choose?
Well, how do you beat a team that has a type quarterback like the Cardinals have? You have to make that team or him one-dimensional, and I think the thing to make him one-dimensional is have to put the ball in his hands and make him have to throw the ball to actually win the game. Contain him, don't let him run, and shut down the run. And I think that's how you try to win games against a quarterback like that. And that's what people have been doing. And I think that's what's hurting the numbers now for Hopkins and people like that. Now, they can go out there at any given time and just be explosive and just connect at any given time. But we haven't seen that a little bit.
Their defense is still very average.
Yeah. I mean, there's not even too much to say. I mean, they're not awful, but they're not great. They're not nothing for me to look at. I think Jones is playing this week. I think he'll be ready to go. You might think I'm crazy, man, but I think the Giants find a way to win this game. And I'm going for the Giants.
You're crazy.
I like how the defense is playing. I'm a big Martinez fan. I think he gets it ready to go. I think that coach is having a good job, and I think he might staple himself in there for the long term. For the new head coach for some longevity now, or for the long term now, not just to end the season type thing out. So I think he's got a lot to prove now too, and he has some pieces he can put together. And we've seen New York get better, and we've seen kind of Arizona start dropping off. So I'm gonna go Giants on this one.
Yeah, and I picked the Cardinals multiple times this year and lost whenever I picked the Cardinals. But this is the week. I'm going against you, dude. I'm going Arizona. I don't think New York is a bad choice at all. But does Colt McCoy start or is it Daniel Jones? And if that's the case,
Daniel Jones
supposed to, but does he look rusty for taking a week off? Colt McCoy did just enough. Wayne Gallman, as a running back, has done well for what they want to do offensively. He's just not as flashy, but he's a grinder. He'll go and get you those 3 to 5 yards a carry, move the sticks, and that's what you want to do is keep Kyler Murray off the field, honestly. But I just think matchup-wise, Blake Martinez, I love him to death. I don't think he keeps up with Kyler Murray. I've seen him play in person, and he's just fast. So if he's ready to go and willing to do it, I think Arizona easily handles the Washington or the New York Football Giants. And yeah, Craig, you're right. Cardinals are a must-win to keep playoff hopes alive for sure, and Giants to keep their playoff contentions too, because the Washington football team, they play your 49ers, and you know how that's going to go. I'm just playing with you, Craig. So going back to the game, you're going to go New York Giants. I'm going Arizona Cardinals. I think it's just too much, and it's still the NFC East, but you know how that NFC is. They turn it on at the end of the season, hopefully. Moving on to the next matchup, which is our last key matchup. We got the Saints going to Philadelphia. I put this one on there just because Jalen Hurts. Okay, I didn't take your Atlanta one off. But Jalen Hurts finally getting in, being the starting quarterback for the Eagles, who need somebody to get the ball out of their hands besides Carson Wentz. I like the kid. Again, I hope he does well. He did pretty well versus the end of the Packers game. He threw a pick, but at the end of the day, he's sitting there throwing against a decent secondary in Green Bay, and that's a good football team. He's going to have some tough matchups, especially here with the Saints first. They're going to come at him left and right, but is he going to make those plays happen with his legs? He's got a cannon, dude. I've already seen him throw lasers. So let's see him in the run game. He seems like one of those quarterbacks that wants to keep throwing. His eyes are downfield. He rolls out the pocket. He's wanting instead of just taking off. I think we might see a little bit of change depending on how much of the reins of the offense that the Doug Peterson gives them. And at the other side of the ball, New Orleans, obviously we all know that their defense is probably one of the top 5. And then Taysom Hill and you were high on him last week for just the way they run the offense now. Him being that dual threat quarterback and being able to run like a fullback, that's dangerous. That just gives you one extra blocker. Yeah. So that's why I put it as a key matchup. I'm really, really intrigued to see what kind of the Philadelphia's response is to this new quarterback, and then if the Saints can keep this rolling without Drew Brees. Chiefs?
No doubt. Who do you think on that one?
I'm going New Orleans just because I don't think Philadelphia is going to win, but I want to see them do good. But I'm going the Saints.
Yeah, I ain't going to even spend too much time on this one. Eagles play better. They make it a game for a little while. Saints have way too much power, and I'm all over Hill, man. He is a beast. He's going to continue to be a beast, especially against the Eagles defense that we've seen be extremely wishy-washy all year. And the Saints defense finds a way, even if Jalen Hurts starts, targeting and making big plays, they find a way to adjust. I have faith in that defense is good enough that they can adjust. So I'm going Saints on this one as well.
Heck yeah.
But Eagles do play better, though. They play better.
What up, Ira? Thanks for blowing up the chat, dude. Welcome. This is the Cheetah and Cheese episodes. So that's going to actually do it for our key matchups. Now we're going to get to the part of the show where we go over our picks. Got something special for you guys as I'm going through these scenes. Here we go. Chief, take it away.
All right. So first one, Houston at Chicago. I'm going to go Houston on this one. I think they find a way to do it with the new coaching staff. Chicago, they're struggling right now. They're trying to find their identity. Houston, I think, has found as much an identity as they can, and I think they try to work on that a little bit more. I want them to just knock off Chicago. I'm going Houston on that one.
Yeah, I'm also going Houston. I think Chicago is struggling offensively all year, and that defense is finally getting tired of, carrying the whole team on the back. Houston's starting to catch fire with Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt. Enough said with that on the defensive side. I'm going Houston.
All right, next one, Dallas at Cincinnati. Oh, man, I don't want to pick either one of these teams, to be honest, because I think I can get screwed either way. This is a coin flip. I don't know what's going on. Dallas, I'm going to give it to you. Shout out to Juan. I'm going to give you that one, baby. I'm going Dallas.
Yeah, I think Andy Dalton did really well last week. He had 18 points of fantasy, so I'm going with the hot hand, and he's going to try to lead these wideouts to another victory and become 4-9 or whatever they are. Because
he's got to come back and play crazy against Cincinnati.
Yeah, exactly. His former team, Dallas comes in, they kind of dominate, in my opinion. I like T. Higgins, though. I do like T. Higgins a lot for Cincinnati. So, next game.
Next one was Kansas City at Miami. We already picked that one.
No, we didn't. I didn't pick this one. I'm going Miami Dolphins at home. They take advantage of a weak defense. Patrick Mahomes gets taken off the field because they want to run the ball a lot more. Miami's defense steps up, forces a couple picks from Patty Mahomes, dude. I'm telling you, I like Miami, so I'm taking the upset, baby.
Now you switching roles with me. Now you jumping on the Miami train.
Damn right.
All right. I like that one. Okay, Arizona at New York. We talked about that one. I picked New York for that one. You picked Arizona,
Cardinals. Right? Yes, sir.
Minnesota at Tampa. I picked Tampa.
Yeah, I'm going with Tampa Bay Bucks too. I like the NFC South versus your NFC North.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Denver at Carolina. All right, I'm going Carolina on this one. At home, they're coming in the backyard to Charlotte. Carolina's got to get it done.
This one could have been a key matchup. I didn't want to put my homer team on there almost every single week. But this is Super Bowl 50 rematch. We're going to come in hot. Jeremy Chin, Defensive Rookie of the Year, playing safety and outside linebacker. They do a lot of crazy things with him, and our defense has actually been playing well. There are people on COVID. I think Derek Brown, our D-tackle, is on COVID, so that sucks. I think we'll be without DJ Moore because of COVID. Curtis Samuel's coming back this week off of COVID. And Robbie Anderson's going to have himself a big day in that secondary. Rematch versus Drew Lock. Von Miller, I don't know. I think he is playing, so that scares me. But we better win. I'm going Carolina, too. I ain't going against my boys.
Von Miller could be playing. He tore his ACL, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's out for like the whole season, I think. I mean, he didn't even play the game.
You better fact check me.
All right, next one. Tennessee at Jacksonville. Tennessee, you got to get done. Derrick Henry, you got to have a good game like you have about every game. Derrick Henry has a 100-yard rush in this game, then they definitely win this game. I'm going Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee for sure should not lose this game, but it is a divisional matchup, so it's going to be closer than what everybody probably assumes. I think Tennessee beats that shiznit out of them, though.
All right, Indianapolis at Vegas. You pick Vegas. I pick Indianapolis.
Rise up.
New York Jets at Seattle. Russell Wilson. Boy, I'll slap you if you lose to the Jets. I'm going Seattle.
DK Metcalf has a big day. Seattle.
Green Bay at Detroit. You know what I'm rocking with, baby. Green Bay all the way. Take it home. A-Rod, you're a freak.
This is when I hate picking Green Bay Packers because they always play Detroit so close. At the end of the season, they just fired their quarterback or their head coach. They fired Matthew Stafford. No.
They're about to get ready to. So, I mean,
I'm going Detroit, dude. I'm going crazy this week. I am picking all these upsets. I'm going to put Detroit over Green Bay Packers this week just because it's division. They fired the head coach, and Matthew Stafford is going to be pissed off.
Thank you very much for that easy pick. Okay. New Orleans at Philadelphia. We already talked about that one. I'm going New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm going New Orleans as well.
All right. Atlanta at the old Chargers. Oh, man. Both of these teams, man, I think they want to come in here and fire out. Atlanta defense, if they show up, oh, my God. I don't know who I want to pick on this one. I have no idea who I want to pick on this one. I didn't even give this one time. I'm going to go with Atlanta. Atlanta gets it done. I'm going Atlanta.
Yeah, I love the NFC South right now. I think everybody's kind of catching fire. Atlanta's been doing pretty hot lately. They did play in New Orleans last week and couldn't put the ball in the end zone. Todd Gurley's coming back. Julio Jones is out. Oh, I'm going LA. I'm going Chargers. Julio Jones is out. I think Keenan Allen, Mike Williams step up. Weak Atlanta secondary. And you got that running of Rookie of the Year and Justin Herbert. So I'm going different. I'm going different on almost all of these of you.
I mean, there's a few. I
can't wait to see this one.
Washington at San Francisco.
Craig, you still here?
Shout out Craig. San Fran gets it done. Shout out Craig. San Fran gets it done. Washington shot they load against Pittsburgh, man. They ain't about to go crazy like that. I'm going to San Francisco.
I think Washington lost Antonio Gibson this week, the rookie running back. So who is it? J.D. McKissick now. I think San Francisco's defense shuts Washington down, puts Alex Smith on his butt. You know, Alex Smith used to play it for the 49ers. I'm taking 49ers as well, Craig. I think y'all get it done at home versus the NFC East, which will put New York on top if they win, or if they both lose, and it's still New York on top. What up?
Yeah, I've been saying that. I said New York. Watch them. All right, Pittsburgh at Buffalo. We both said it. We both picked Buffalo on that one.
Yeah, Josh Allen in Buffalo is pretty unstoppable, even with a top defense like that. I think Josh Allen does enough with his feet to get the dub. The dub.
That is it for the pick.
All right, guys. Well, we do appreciate you coming in and commenting in the chat. If you didn't, make sure that you go fill out the questionnaire every Tuesday on the Facebook page. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the support. I got some gear coming for you guys soon. I'm going to rep it out for you.
Also, tell them about that thing you looked up earlier about the picks.
Let me just show you guys.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, though. That was pretty cool.
So, Halt, we got a new seed. I got to go back to the seed real quick. All right, so me and Chief's been doing this. We've been keeping up with all of our stats and our picks from week to week. All right, and there's this website that we found. They're considered professionals, NFL pros, picks, and all this stuff, right? Well, I don't know if you guys notice his records down here, but me and Cheese we're behind this guy by a couple games, but these other two, we are overpicking them. So it's interesting to see kind of who they pick too. If you want a little quick glance, everybody's picking the Falcons over the Chargers. Everybody's picking Green Bay over Detroit. Everybody's picking Seattle over the Jets. Tampa Bay over the Vikings. Saints over Philadelphia. Chiefs, Titans, Cowboys are all heavy favorites. And then all the other games, everybody's kind of different. This is just an interesting website that I found, and I just thought you guys should know that. Me and Cheese don't play no games.
It's been fun, dude. That's pretty cool.
Games.
When you told me that, too, it was pretty cool. I was like, okay, dang. I guess we ain't doing too bad.
Not too bad at all. But, again, we appreciate you guys coming in here, talking football with us. We're excited for this week. It's going to be a great week of NFL football. Playoffs are right around the corner. We got some crazy stuff coming in the next couple of weeks. I'm starting to learn how to change the scenes. Hopefully you guys like that. But Chief, you better kill him with the vibe.
Yeah. Peace out, man.